Alright, so, the course objective. Technician license is the entry level and authorizes you to operate an amateur radio, or ham, transmitter. You're going to pass the general exam as well, because this is a combined course. The reason we do that, it takes a little longer, but half the test questions on the general came from the same material as the technician. So, why not hit them both at once? The general license expands the frequencies and equipment you can use. We have an excellent pass rate, covered that. If you come to class and study on your own, so those people that have passed, that's of the ones who kept coming to class. If they didn't come to all the class, or most of the classes, then I don't count them. You will pass if you do that though, if you come. Students pass both tests, half of them, and a few have become instant extras, so we have had a few instant extras. And an instant extra is someone who sits down from no license, takes all 3 tests in one session. It's their top of the class. Class starts on time, except for today. Be prepared for 3 to 5, 9 to 1 or 2. What we're going to do, planning to do is find a good stopping point between 1 and 2. So it could be at 5 after 1, it could be at 55 minutes after 1. Instructors are supposed to teach the students. You need to read your assigned materials from both manuals before each class, because you'll get a lot more out of the class. You'll know what questions to ask. Please stay on topic for the most part. Of course, it's not a quick overview. Yeah, so we can teach you a quick overview in what, 6 hours? Yeah. We don't do that. We teach you in depth. We will help you understand the topics, not just memorize the answers, with a few exceptions. So some of them we're going to tell you, just don't worry about it. That's the answer. Remember it. Because some of them are regulations that you have to memorize, and some of them involve far more math than you want to deal with while you're taking a test. There's others that are wrong. Yeah. There's parts that are wrong. We'll kind of point that out, but it'll say, for the test, there's the answer. But yeah, there are so like the battery charging levels and things like that. The course we're going to watch, we're going to do the introduction today. We have safety is the next section. We should probably get into that a bit. Basic electronics, advanced components, basic radio and waves, antennas and propagation. That's the part that makes all that work inside the radio get to where you want to go. Rules and regulations, the fun part, because we have to play by the rules. And making contact, and that's what you say, how you do it, where you find people, all that good stuff. And then a test session. Okay, hand manners. Use the same manners in class as required when using your radio and license. So in here, we want no using 4-letter words to start with a W and end with a K. Let other students complete their questions before chiming in. Inappropriate or vulgar language or stories will not be tolerated in class. Please ask questions about personal radio gear before or after class, during the break, or something like that. Keep things related to the topic currently at hand. And introduction. Amateur radio is a radio service authorized by the Federal Communications System, or the FCC. Remember, it's not the FAA. Those are pilots keep messing this up and paying the wrong one. It's to encourage the advancement of the art and science of radio is one reason, and to promote the development of an emergency communication capability to assist communities when needed. Essentially to create a cadre of trained radio operators that are available in the event of an emergency. To develop a pool of trained radio operators and to promote international goodwill by connecting private citizens to countries around the globe. That's the big thing, private citizen. You can't have a foreign national here that works for, say, an embassy or something. They're not allowed to get on there. Through ham radio, you will become an ambassador for your community and your country. Communicate. That's what we do. We communicate, we participate, we experiment. We call that home brewing a lot of times. Building, that's the home brewing part, I guess. We compete, serve our communities, and it is a lifelong learning experience. There are so many niches you will never learn it all. Period. In the story, there's no way. They're bouncing off the moon, bouncing off the satellite, bouncing off the ionized trail behind Meteor. Okay, that's just briefing. And then we've got slow scan TV, fast scan TV, digital, Morse code, building antennas. There's just tons of stuff. You'll be learning as long as you are alive. The radio amateur is considerate, never knowingly operates in a way such as to lessen the pleasure of others. Now, that's getting harder and harder to do in the 21st century, but you get the idea. Loyal. Offers loyalty, encouragement, and support to other amateurs, local clubs, the IARU, the International Association of Radio Unions. So that's an international organization that basically makes up some regulations for everybody in the world to follow in their own countries. And our government then creates our regulations and compliance protections. We're progressive, keeps your station up to date. It is well built and efficient. The operating practice is above reproach. So if you get on the air and somebody like Dave or I or Steve or anybody else says, hey, your radio sounds horrible, not picking on you, he's letting you know something's not right, because you'll never know. If you push the button down, you don't hear what's coming out the other end. So we're generally trying to tell people that, hey, you have an issue that you need to address, and we can help you work out what it might be sometimes, depending on what's going on. Friendly operates slowly and patiently. Now, I think they're talking about Morse code there, but you can't work that slow for me. I don't do Morse code. Patiently, when requested, offers friendly advice and counsel to beginners, kind assistance, cooperation, consideration for the interests of others. These are the marks of the amateur spirit. Okay, this is the amateur code from 1928 as adapted.
Something like that.
Has adapted a few times over the years. Balanced radio is a hobby. You never interfere with duties owed to your family, your job, school, or your hobby. It's not a profession. It's not a lifestyle. It's a hobby. So don't let it interfere. Patriotic, station and skilled are always ready for service to country and community. Many unlicensed radio services are available. We're different because we are licensed. We have fewer restrictions, more frequencies, more power, up to 1,500 watts. There are some places where we can't go that high, but that's our maximum. And we have more ways to communicate. It's almost free to operate your radio. You got to buy it and buy an antenna. But after that, all you're paying for is electric power. Because ham radios are much more capable and have more potential to interfere with other radio services, we have more responsibilities. And that's why we have a license. And because the hams are unlimited reach, literally around the planet and in space, you can take this. I don't know what you pay for it, but you can get one of these for $25, $30. Out of Fang, made in China, and you can talk around the world with this. Using the internet, but it'll get you into the system, get you out somewhere else in the world. $30. FCC authorization is required to ensure operators are qualified to operate ham equipment safely, appropriately within the regulation. So that's why you're here, is to get that license. So, steps to obtain a license: study the material in your manuals. During class, you'll see study references to the manuals. So they'll be generally in red. It's going to make it hard to read on this. And at the bottom. And then at the end of each section of presentations, we'll have it as well. The tech manual chapters begin, the references, the tech manual begins with a T, and the general manual begins with a what? A G maybe? Hold the chair.
Get it out of the way.
Okay, the manual. We have the technician manual. You want the 5th edition. If you bought it here, you got the right one. And you want the 10th edition of the general class manual with that lady's picture on it. Because there are people online who sell older manuals. There's nothing wrong with them, except the questions aren't the same questions they're asking. Website URLs are in bold on the manuals. The important words and phrases are in italics, and sidebars contain interesting and helpful information that you should read, because it might be the only place you hear. And questions and answers listed in the back of the book, as well as reference within the text. So if you see something in the text and it's got a reference to it and it's confusing to you, go see what the question is. Make sure you understand what they want you to say. Whether you think it's right or wrong, or you understand it, it doesn't matter. That's the answer you have to give. You guys from the military, you know all about that, right? Anybody taking a driver's license test, you know that you give them the answer they want. You must read the material in the manuals. Oh yes, in class presentations are time limited. So we'll expose you to all the topics and concepts, but we simply don't have time to present everything. So there will be things that are minor for the most part that you're only going to get out of the manuals. So if you read the manuals. I believe we got every question.
We do have every
Cool. It will come up there. So if you have a question about that question, that's the time to ask it before everybody shouts out the answer. Read the assigned sections before class. We talked about that already. Note that the course does not go through the manuals chapter by chapter. We don't go from 1, 2, 3. We jump around so that we're making up all the similar information into one presentation. So you'll have to jump around in several chapters at times. Pay close attention to the reading assignments, because that's those chapters we're going to jump around. The question numbers do not refer to manual chapters. Okay? They just don't. Look them up in the back of the manual to find them in the text. And I believe in the back where the questions are, it tells you where in the text they've got.
Correct.
The most out of class, ask questions. By reading the material before class will maximize class time. Attend the classes because we can't back up. There are no stupid questions except not answered or asked. Well, not asked. If you ask us a question we can't answer, we will find out the answer if we can.
Or make it.
No, we don't do that. That's the military. They make it. And politicians. If you have questions between classes, contact an instructor via email or text or call. Okay? Okay, get the most out of class while fonts and size change. Yellow text within the training slides means this is on the test, pay attention. Okay? If it's yellow, it's on the test. For the first 2 to 3 weeks, there's what you need to be reading, and there will be some more of this today, as well as next week, hopefully not the following week.